Hi everyone, this is Alma coming to you from Long Beach, California. Today is Monday, June 28th of the year 2021, and this is a special edition of my FlossTube videos. As you can probably see from the title, I'm going to go ahead and do a mid-year WIP parade. And it's going to be a long one, so I'm probably going to have to cut it into two parts as I did the one in December, which again you'll probably see from the title of the video. As always, I want to welcome you all. Welcome back to all my current viewers and subscribers, and thank you as always for your continuing support, for coming back week after week to check in on me, for keeping up with me and my shenanigans. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you guys, so thank you. It means the world to me. And if this is your first time visiting, then welcome. This is a channel where I talk about my cross-stitch projects, most of which are full coverage. And lucky you get to see them all today. So, I hope that you like what you see, you find a reason to stay, subscribe, and continue to follow me on my stitching journey. I hope that everything goes off without a hitch. I cleared a lot of space in my iPhone. I got rid of a ton of photos, a ton of old videos, and according to the storage thing, okay, sorry, busy street. According to the storage thing, it says that I still have quite a bit to go. So hopefully we'll get through this without too many technical difficulties. So if this is your first time watching my WIP parades, then the way that I film them is I film them in such a way that if you go from the last WIP parade, which in this case is the one in December, and you jump to this most recent one, if you skip all the videos in between, you still won't have missed a beat. I'll show the exact same WIPs, the exact same projects. If I've finished something in the meantime, I'll show the finished product, kind of say, here it is, it's finished, next. And that's it, that'll be it, moving on. And I do show them in chronological order, so we'll start from the oldest WIP to the newest WIP. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to the stitching. First and foremost is my oldest WIP is Hogwarts Castle at Night by the Stitching Girl on Etsy. This design, I got it at 2015. It's no longer available, at least not with Stitching Girl. I know there's quite a few people that have charted the same image, so you can still find something similar. It's just not available at her shop. I'm gonna try to see where I can put this, where it's not going to be much of a bother. Hopefully that'll be it. Okay. This WIP I started on June 26th of 2018. It just had its 3rd birthday. And as you can see, it's not gonna make it to a 4th birthday. I am so close to being done. The last time I showed this to you, in the WIP parade, I had 78,000 stitches done. Now I have 115,000 stitches. I only have 7,000 stitches to go. I think I just hit 94% last night. So yeah, that one corner is all I've got left, which is insane. And I'm very excited. I'm hoping to finish this by the end of July. July 31st is Harry Potter's birthday, like the character. So I would like to finish it, if not beforehand, at least on July 31st. One more thing, most of my projects are going to be done on 18 count Aida, so unless otherwise stated, that's my go-to fabric for full coverage. I do 18 count Aida, 2/1, 2 strands over 1. So the next WIP I want to show you, now go ahead and just open up so I at least give you all of the information, all the relevant information. But the next WIP that I want to show you is my oldest Hade. This is Mini 1 by Cindy Nielsen, and I started this on August 30th, 2018, so a couple of months after I started Hogwarts Castle. And because this was my first Hade, I thought the easiest way to go was to get a material pack from Hade. Maybe the easiest, but not the most economic way to go. So I've since then learned that lesson. And here's where I am at so far. I haven't really done much stitching on this since the last time I showed it to you. Well, okay. You know, another note, anytime I say the last time I showed it to you, I mean from the last WIP parade, not necessarily my FlossTube updates. Okay, so I've done 1,100 stitches since my last FlossTube, or my last WIP parade. I would like to hit 54,000 stitches on this, but in order to do that, I would need to do 45,000 stitches more than what I already have. So I don't know. Magical Stitches is doing a thing this year where any time you don't want to do the task as assigned and you want to do penalty stitches, you can use your oldest WIP. So maybe that's one way that I can get some work on this done. Because once I finish Hogwarts, of course. But again, Hogwarts is already finished in my mind. Like, that's how I'm working right now. The next WIP that I have to show you is one that I also found on Etsy. This is Sleeping Girl by Stitch Fairy Treasures on Etsy. And I started this on January 6th of 2019. I haven't really worked on this much, and I feel like I'm gonna say that a lot in this video because I've been focusing on a lot of WIPs that are close to being finished. So a lot of the ones that aren't so close are getting neglected, so to speak. So not much changed since the last time I showed it to you. I think I've only put in maybe 200 stitches, and since they're all in white, you can't really see much. Because I'm pretty sure the last time I showed it to you, I had just started this next page. So as you can see, I've done a lot of white stitches here in the background. I still want to meet my goal of at least finishing one more page this year, because I do want to see her finished. So I feel like at least doing one page, because I think she's got 9 pages total. Some of them are partial pages, because some of them are like this one that just have like this sliver. But I would like to finish one more page at least. Yeah, I said that it was from Stitch Fairy's Treasures. This is again 18 count data, 2/1. Okay. The next one I want to show you is a Reolist kit that I started on February 1st of 2019. This is what she looks like. She's called Lilac Evening. And I'm using all of the materials that came with the kit. It came with an 14 count beige Zweigart Ada and Anchor Anchor floss. Again, not too much progress to show on this one. Hogwarts has taken up so much. Again, from that one I went to 78k to 115k, so that's where most of my stitching has gone. But I'm still working on the hat. I'm still working on the see-through lace ribbon, whatever that is. I've gotten more of it done down here, but I still have all of this to go, and the hat. So I got some work to do on this one. I'd like to still meet the goal. I told myself that I wanted to at least finish all the cross stitching on this by the end of the year. And it does stitch really fast, that's the thing. Once I get working on it, it goes by very quickly. So I'm hoping to do more than 500 stitches on her, because I think that's pretty much what I ended up doing since the end of the year. The next one that I started for Mania. I did this one, well, I originally started this, I didn't enjoy doing it. I think it was because of the fabric that I was using. So I started it for May of 2019 on May 1st. This is Watercolor Floral by Stitchery Stitch. And again, not too much has gotten done on this one either. For this one, it does have partial pages as well. This is what it looks like. So there's, again, and I kind of gridded the area so you can kind of see. So this is what's left of one page on this side, and this is what's left on the other one. I would like to get those done by the end of the year. However, this one and the Sleeping Beauty pattern are not Pattern Keeper compatible. At least they weren't the last time I checked. Maybe, because it has been a few updates since then. So maybe I can try again. But it does make working on this a little harder. Especially because they both have very similar colors and similar symbols. So it's very slow going. And I feel like that's also why I don't work on them too much, because it's just a hassle to work with all the triangles that all look the same, and yeah, it's fun. The next one is another one of my hates. You're gonna see a lot of hates and Tilton Crafts in this video, or these two videos. But this is Moon Charmer. Select the size, so it's not the original size. Somebody just requested a custom size. I saw that it was smaller than the original, so I just went for it. Artist is Amy Stewart, and I started this on May 20th. It kind of reminded me of the characters that you see in fantasy games, so that was really why I liked it and I started it. And I'm trying to fiddle with all the fabric. This is what I have so far. Pretty sure this is exactly the same as you saw it last time as well. I may have done like 100 stitches here and there, because sometimes I do that for tasks. Like if some of the monthly tasks will only call for 100 or 200 stitches, or if they're asking for specific colors. So yeah, it's pretty much the same. The goal for this year was to hit 75k, but I would need to do 35,000 stitches more in order to reach that goal. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it, but we can try. Again, I feel like once I finish Hogwarts, it's gonna be just fair game for everything else. Everything else can get finished. Another piece that I've been working on lately is my Flowers of the Alphabet. This is by Lemonade on Etsy. And I started this on October 28th. So I went quite a bit of time without starting anything. This one, I'm using it as a de-stash piece. So I'm not using the call for colors. I'm just using whatever I find left over from other things. And I'm using an 18 count Aida beige-ish. I think it's Aida. I don't know. I didn't buy this fabric. It was I got it in one of those de-stash Facebook groups. And the last time that I showed this to you, I had pretty much just the one flower done. As you can see, I've got almost 4 more completed. My original goal was to just get the 5 flowers done. I joined an event that was supposed to be like work on something that had to do with an alphabet piece. So it could be a sampler, it could be something like this where there's like one object per letter, or it could just be like the alphabet. And you were supposed to work, you had 2 weeks to work on one letter. But as you can see, I fell hopelessly behind on it. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I may go ahead and try to at least finish this one flower, these 2 flowers here, because this one's pretty much, the background's all done, so it's just the flower left over. But yeah, I also need to do the detailing, because like these are supposed to be daisies, and you can barely tell because the background is like ecru, I think, and the flowers are white. But it's a nice piece. I like working with all the flowers. I like even figuring out the colors because I'm not using the called for colors. Anyway, so that was the 28th on October. On November 1st, 2019, I started, I think this is my first Tilton Crafts designs or chart. It's Tilton Crafts. Artwork is by Daniel Kordick. Wonder Woman, Warrior Princess. So I just call her Wonder Woman or Diana for short. I just did this in Spanish, so I feel like I'm just short-circuiting sometimes. Anyway, this is what I have so far. So I have worked on this one. This one has gotten some love lately. The last time I showed it to you guys, I was at 10,000 stitches. Now I'm at 16,500 stitches. So I think when I showed it to you last, I was doing this section right here on the top, and I think I had some of the blue either started or I think I finished it. So what I've worked on since then is all these brown, lighter brown colors, these yellow tones, and this is her hair right here. We're starting on her hair. So it's exciting. We actually get to see the image come together soon. The goal for her was to hit 20K. I would only need to do 3,500 more stitches. So considering that I do want to work on her in July, Leanne from Leanne Stitches is doing a Superhero Saturday sale where she works on her Marvel piece. So yeah, just use any superhero piece. So I want to use this for July. So who knows, maybe I can get all 3,500 stitches done in 1 month. After that, a few days later, on November 6th, I did another Tilton Crafts start. This is Esmeralda, and again, it's by Daniel Kordick. I mean, Hunchback of Notre Dame is my favorite Disney movie of all time. So when I saw this design, I couldn't resist. I had to have it. I had to stitch it up. And I focused so much on her last year that I feel like maybe she deserved a break. I've done 3,000 stitches since the last time that I showed it to you in the last WIP parade. So I went from 11,500 to 14,500. So a little bit of progress, not too much, but I'm still very much in the background. But as you can see, this is the outline of her tambourine here. So again, coming into the objects of the design, which is exciting because so many of my pieces, I mean, it kind of comes with working in full coverage, but many of my pieces are just background. The next piece is another Tilton Crafts chart. This is Snow Girl, again by Daniel Kordick. I started this on November 23rd of 2019. And this one was a focus for last year. I did it for a challenge where we had to stitch 20,000 stitches in the year 2020. So this year they're doing the same thing, 21,000 stitches in 21. I'm using Hogwarts for that one, so I've already done 21K, and when I finish it, I'll have done another 21K, all in 2021. Oh, sorry. This is how this goes. So the point of that was because I focused so much on it last year, I haven't really stitched on this at all this year. I think I just burnt myself out on all the white because I don't know if you can see, but all of all of that right here, I don't know if you can see, it's a white border. So you had to do this white border that I actually had to unpick and do over because I miscounted. It's like the worst nightmare, right? Doing a border and suddenly finding a mistake doesn't line up. So I still would like to work on this a little bit more. I had originally told myself that I wanted to hit 30,000 stitches on this as well. However, I would need to do like 8,000 stitches more. So I don't know, we'll have to see. The next piece is a piece that I started with, well, not with, but Zakia of Lady Wing Designs. She had a birthday sale, at least she did in 2019, and this was how I went along with it, because yellow is one of her favorite colors, and this, even though it looks more green, it has yellow tones. This is June by Anna Dittman, another hate chart. And so I started this on her birthday on November 26th. This is where I'm at so far. Is this right? Yeah, that's right. It's a longer piece, so I'm trying to figure out the dimensions. But yeah, this is right. Originally wanted to go ahead and shoot for 15,000 stitches, but I'm only at 5,000 right now. So here we are. Not too much progress to show. Again, background, background, background. All the backgrounds in all my pieces. But you know, the only way to get out of background is by doing it. So there's that as well. Okay. The next piece that I started, I actually, or at least, yeah, the newest one, besides that one, is a piece that I did for a new year, new start, 2020. I chose Bilbo's Home by Mandarin's Designs, and I had originally wanted to finish it by the end of the year, but I didn't get a chance to. So I thought, okay, I'll finish it in 2021. And I'm almost done with it. I'm very happy to say I'm almost done with it. I just need to do the back stitching. It was almost done. So close to being done. The back stitching, like here in the teapot and the cookies. There's a stack of books over here. There's Bilbo himself, of course, with his clothes. So it has quite a, and you know, even the door frame and everything has some details added. So I need to get on it. It's not much. It really isn't much. I've been focused on Hogwarts. So once I finish that, I can finish this, and I can finish all the other things as well. So that's that one. And the next one that I started on the 17th of January 2020 is my Disney Villain Ladies. So this one I had hoped to finish one panel every year, but now I'm just shooting for finishing all of it within 5 years, so by January 2025. Jesus. Okay. So the last time that I showed it to you, I had 8,000 stitches done. Now I'm happy to say that I've at least finished one panel. So last time I showed it, I had just finished with her face, and I was just starting on her, you know, neck, whatever that is, I don't know, headdress, I don't know. And so I finished her. There she is in all her glory. And I've also started on Ursula. So the next panel is Ursula, but you can't, I mean, it's white on white, so it's kind of hard to see. But it's there, I promise. Like the background's white and her hair is white. It's just all the white right now. But yeah, this is a pattern that I found on Zana Cross Stitch. And she has them split into 4 parts. So when you buy the pattern, you don't have to stitch. It's not like you stitch all 4 of them together like I am. I just decided to do it that way. She just gives you the option of which one you want to do. Next one is a kit that I got at Michael's or something. I don't know. It's a dimensions kit from their gold collection, the petite size. This is stacked teacups, and I started this on February 1st of 2020. The designer name is Susan Winget. It's W-I-N-G-E-T. I don't know if it's Winget or Winget, and I don't know. I'm sorry if I butchered it, because I did. I butchered it, sorry. But this was another one that I had hoped to finish this year. Because it's not much, especially considering that most of it is just background. But it hasn't really gotten too much attention. Again, kind of unacceptable because the background is easy enough to do. So I feel like that's going to be the first thing I do to kind of get me back in the groove of stitching on it, and then I can go back and do the teacups. And I'm using all the materials that came with the kit. It came with 18 count data, so that worked out. And I am using the floss that came with it as well. Next piece that I started was, again, something that I started with Zakia, Lady Wing Designs. We both decided to start something on Leap Day, and we both really liked this design by Mystic Stitch. This is Change of Seasons 2, and the idea is to finish it not by the next Leap Day, but the following one, so 2028, because we decided, we both had so many things going on that 4 years is probably not enough time, because it's a relatively big piece. It's 400 stitches by 474 stitches, so it's no small feat. And this is what I've done so far. I am at 10,500 stitches so far, mostly done in that orange color. Again, background, well, this is I think this is the tree right here. So this is that outline of the tree. So at least I'm getting someplace with it. I haven't really worked on it too much though. I had hoped to hit, so in order to go ahead and keep up with that, the goal of finishing by 2028, I wanted to go ahead and do 48,000 stitches by the end of this year. I don't think that's happening, considering I've only worked on it for like 1,000 stitches. I would need to do, at least according to my numbers, I would need to do 36,500 stitches more. So, I don't know. I was at 10.5K when I showed it to you guys last. The next piece I want to show you is a design by Katrina Saitova. She's a Russian designer, and I found the design thanks to Moira, I believe, and she does a lot of different, details, as you know, they kind of all do. They all have amazing amount of details. So I'm gonna go ahead and just show you the finished product, because I started this on April 1st, 2020, and this is one of the very first designs that I finished in 2021. I finished this on January 24th, 2021. So this is what it looks like. The lighting is kind of making it look a little bit more bluish grayish. Not too much. It looks okay. It's fine. The gray is just popping out a lot for whatever reason. But yeah, if you saw my last WIP parade, then you remember that I just had the body. I had everything else done. I had all the background down. I had just started on his head and I was working my way down, but I needed to do the rest. So I needed to do everything up here and down here underwater as well. But yeah, this one You can see a lot of the detail on the whiskers, on his face, the hair. That was fun, she said sarcastically. But yeah, this was a really nice finish. I really enjoyed working on this. This is a 14 count dyed Ada. I don't remember where I got it. I remember when I was working on it, I thought if I were to stitch this design again, I might try it on just like white Ada, because it's full coverage anyway, so you don't necessarily need dyed fabric, and some of the lighter colors did disappear a little bit under those grays. But I love this. I love this very much, and I'm very happy with it. Yeah, I can't remember where I got the dyed fabric from. Okay. So the next piece that I want to show you is another one of my dimension skits. I started this on April 14th of 2020. Yeah, so Haku and Beauty and the Beast kits were the first things that I started. You know, when the pandemic hit and people were trying to keep themselves motivated and entertained and sane. So, because I think this was for Sal. Somebody, for whatever reason, Derek from Married with Stitches came to mind. So I'm pretty sure he started a Sal. And I just like, okay, and it was just like to start something new. So I remember I just joined in with this, and again I just got this at Michael's or Joann's, I don't remember, but I thought it was a cute design, and I want to finish it this year. I've got some of it done. I've got the bulk of his suit done. I've got her face. She has a face, I think. I don't think her mouth, yeah, no, she doesn't have any, like, you don't actually have cross stitches for her mouth. She just has the pink outline for her lipstick, and that's it. But then, yeah, all I would have to do is her dress, which is just the top, because it's not even her skirt. And then the chandelier over here, and the words. That's it. But yeah, not too much progress since the last WIP parade. But this should be a relatively fast finish. I did use the fabric that came with the kit, 14 count Ada. You know, kind of stiff, but it wasn't too bad once I soaked it. That's how I deal with stiff Ada, is I soak it and I iron it, and for me that tends to get rid of the worst bits. The next one that I started a month later. It's one of Yanni Stitcher's designs. This is Katrina, and I think I got a couple of her designs because Zakia, good friend Zakia, she was working on her Mexicanita, her Mexican girl, and so I got that one, but this one really called out to me as well. So I'm working on this one. And I do want to, I originally wanted to go ahead and shoot for a complete finish. I think at this point though, I just want to do her face and the banners, the paper mache banners. This is what I have so far. So I'm just using a D-stash, the stash materials for this, so I'm trying to go by what she calls for in the pattern, but I'm using some stuff that I had left over. I will say though that I did change the color of this little banner right here. I think it's supposed to be brown, so I changed it to green to make it a little bit more colorful, and that's the face paint going around over there. And I messed up, so I have to restart this because I'm pretty sure that's what I was in the middle of, and that's why I didn't want to work on this anymore. It's because I needed to redo the entire thing because I messed up. You can kind of tell that this eye socket right here is a little lower, or maybe you can't tell. I don't know. So I do have to restart this, or at least her face. So that's why I want to keep going on the banners at least, so I can, you know, stitch a little bit on the banners and then frog a little bit, stitch on the banners, and then fix the face. And that's on a 14 count, like off-white data that I had in my stash. Again, I don't know exactly where I got it. It was just there. The next piece that I want to show you is another one of my hates. This is Mini Midnight Stroll. Artwork is by Julie Fain. And I started this on May 21st of 2021, or 2020. I haven't started anything this year. 2020. I am doing this as a gift for my goddaughter. So I would like to get it finished sooner rather than later. So I have gone work on this. So here. According to my numbers, I went from 11,000 stitches, which is when you saw this last in the WIP parade, and now it's at 22,500 stitches. I would still like to double that number and try to hit 50k this year. So I think it's doable. I think I can definitely focus on this once I finish Harry Potter. I can work on this to make sure that I'm keeping up with it, because, you know, she's growing up, and I want her to at least appreciate it and like it, and not think that she's too old for that kind of stuff. But I do love the colors. Again, 18 count data for this one. The next one, I'm just gonna say off the top, I haven't worked on this at all, but I wanted to show it for posterity's sake. This is another one of my Dimensions kit. This is Mason Jar lineup. I don't know who. Oh, Barb Tour de Lot. No, I don't know. Tour to Lot. I shouldn't have even tried. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have butchered it. But there were a lot of people that were doing this song, so I remember falling in love with it because I saw it so often. And so I kept looking for it, and I finally found the kit. But I haven't done any work on it since I showed it to you guys last. And it's all white on white anyway, so you can't see anything. But I would like to finish at least 2 jars by the end of the year. So that doesn't seem too bad. Hopefully it's doable. It's just getting down to it, I guess. And I am using, and I think for this one I did use the fabric that came with the kit. It's a 14 count Aida. Again, super stiff, but usually soaking it and ironing it helps. For me, works for me. That one I started on May 22nd. May 24th, a lot of people started doing this Manic Manning style because it was still part of Mania. So a lot of people started stitching some of the designs by Caroline Manning Designs. So this was my entry. This was how I joined in. Sea glass, because I love those colors. I love anything that has teals and blues and greens. And this is what I have so far. I have worked on it a little bit. I've done 3,600 stitches so far, or at least from the last time you saw it. It's a fairly quick stitch. It's an easy stitch because it's just small triangles. So for me, that, you know, I count my stitches for challenges and stuff. I know that each little triangle is 10 stitches. So, or was it 9? No, it's 10. So yeah, it's really easy to use this for challenges like that, because you don't even have to count, you know, You just have to count how many triangles you do, as opposed to count each individual stitch. I'm using, again, for 18 count Ada for this one, but I am using all the called for colors, not changing anything, because she's a genius. I don't know how she does it, but everything she does, like the way she works with colors and mixing colors, and it's just amazing. Next piece that I started was a piece. I don't have the finished. I keep telling myself that I have to find it or I have to download it, but I started an ink circles piece on June 2nd for Pride Month. Several people, including Zakia, I think Claire also started this, but I could be wrong. It was just something that we decided to do in honor of Pride Month, and it's the Relentless piece that was released. I think it's this way. This was released in commemoration of when it was when marriage was legalized for people of the same gender or same sex. I don't know which one's politically correct now. Whatever, you know what I mean. So I'm doing this for a friend of mine who is LGBTQ. He's gay. I'm sorry. I don't know. Probably offended. I'm trying to remember how many more initials they've added, and I blanked out. But I'm still in the outline for this one. I would like to finish the outlining by the end of the year, which is already a step down from my original goal, which was to finish the outline and then do 2 colors. Now I'm just like, I just want to finish the outline. That's all I ask of myself at this point. And that's actually done on a scrap piece of silk weaver Ada. I don't know if you could tell, it's kind of yellowy, greenish in tone. So I thought it worked well. It's fine. Again, it was just a scrap piece of fabric that I found, and I thought, yeah, I could use this. The next piece that I started was another Hade, small one this time. I started this on June 13th. It's called Mini Soaring Free 2. The artwork is by Joan Marie. This is a fairly popular design. I'm sure you've seen people stitching this, because I certainly have. That's why I wanted to stitch it. I haven't worked on it too much though. This was when I first started experimenting with 25 count Easy Guide. It's Easy Guide, right? Or Easy Grid? I forget which one. I mean, it's the one with the gray lines. And it's 10 by 10, because there's, I think it's, the other one is, so I think this one is Easy Grid, and then you have Magic Guide, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't think I've worked on this since the last time I showed it to you. Yeah, no. I want to hit 15K on this, but I don't think I've worked on it. I may have worked on it for like a challenge here and there, maybe 100 and 200 stitches, but it's pretty much stayed the same. The next piece that I started in honor of my boyfriend's birthday, June 28th, 2020. We both love World of Warcraft. We've been playing a lot lately, so I decided to start something for him, and I did finish it last month. This is the Horde Flag by Up to Cross Stitch. Oop, here we go. So it took me a little under a year to do. It really shouldn't have taken me that long. The only reason it did, let me see if I can just put something behind it. It's not like showing through the back. So the only reason it took me so long is because I screwed up. The last time you saw this in a WIP parade, I had the centerpiece done, and I think I was stitching this way. Yeah, I was stitching this way and across. Apparently I messed up when I did that, because this little tip right here should have lined up with this little tip right here. and that put me off working on this like nobody's business. I did fix it as soon as possible, like, because I knew that if I set it down completely, then I wouldn't pick it back up. So I did make sure to try to fix for the mistake as much as I could, but ultimately it just meant that this entire side was going to be a little thinner than this side. So you can see this is a little bit wider here, and this is a little bit narrower. Still looks okay. The plan is to go ahead and hang it here in this space, because this blue piece is also World of Warcraft, and this sign over here is also World of Warcraft. So it's a theme. But yeah, I wanted to do for Mania. I wanted to go ahead and do finish Mania. So this is one of the pieces I finished for that. So yeah, he was excited. I was excited. It was great. The next piece that I want to show you is a piece that I started. Oh, I actually skipped one. Never mind. Yeah, because this one I wrote it later, that's why I messed up. This is July, and I started on the 24th. So I started it a few days before I started the Horde Flag. This is July by Anna Dittman. It's another Heaven and Earth Designs chart. And I started this, I'm pretty sure I started this with Tess from Tess Stitches. Because we both she loves purple, so she either started it with me or she's going to start it. I'm pretty sure we both have it though. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Not much progress on it though, to be honest, if any. My number says no change, so, or my notes I should say, my notes say no change, because I'm still in the background. I think I did start with like the lightest pink, so it's not white, but it's still very light. So yeah, so nothing too exciting to show here. But I do love the design, so I do want to make sure that I work on it. Okay, going back. I also started another Anna Dittman design on July 1st. Actually, I think that was, I'm pretty sure that I started July for Tessa's birthday. So there's that connection. But I don't remember if she started as well. Anyway, for my birthday, or birthday month I should say, I started Tea, again by Anna Dittman. So this is Benedict Cumberbatch as Sherlock Holmes. It's one of my favorite, all-time favorite TV shows, series, whatever you want to call it. And I wanted to go ahead and try stitching this a little bit differently. Normally I start on the top left corner, but this one, even though on the image it looks like there's like an off-white background, it actually doesn't have a background. So I started in this corner with his hand in the sleeve. So again, hardly any change from last time. I did want to go ahead and hit 10,000 stitches this year on this, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But again, this is also what this WIP parade is for. It's also for me. Like, it's not just for you, it's for me. It's like, oh yeah, I really do need to work on this. I really do want to pick this back up. So I do love this. Both of these two pieces. I think Anna Dittman's designs are amazing. So again, I've got 3 of hers. So yeah, so maybe I'll work on it more next month, because it'll be its birthday coming up soon. In 3 days. July is upon us. We are practically in July already. The next piece that I started, I don't know where the product image went for this one, which is weird because I've been using it a lot. Maybe that's why it's just all over the place. I don't know. It's a design by 2x2 Stitch Art on Etsy. I started this with shell of seashell stitches, and it's called I call it the Flowers of the Galaxy. I don't think it has much of a product name. It just has like description words. But here, I'm trying to not have the background show too much. Does that work a little bit better? The last time I showed this to you guys, it was at 2,400 stitches. I now have over 5,300 stitches out of 6,200 stitches. So I'm very close to being finished. There's a few flowers over here that I have to finish, and I think there's some things that I have to fill in here. But yeah, as you can see, the circle is practically done already. So yeah, it's getting close. It's getting close. Again, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a finish either next couple of days or within the first few weeks of July. The next piece that I'm going to show you is one of the rare occasions where I abandon a WIP. For the most part, I tend to choose things that I absolutely love, so it takes a lot for me to abandon a WIP. I think I've only done it maybe 3 or 4 times in all my stitching career, and this was one of those times. The design is Time to Stitch, a mystery style. It's by Lakeside Needlecrafts. The designer is Maria Diaz, and this is where I got to on it. I mean, as you can see, I only got like 2.5 parts done, and it started on the beginning of July, so July 1st. I didn't start it until the 12th of July. I was very excited. I liked the theme, I liked the idea, and this was what they used for the preview, and I fell in love with this clock. So I was like, oh, I have to stitch it. But the more time went on, the more I kept thinking that the clocks worked as individual pieces, but when you put them together, not so much. So I've got, as you can see, I've got quite a bit of fabric left. This is a 14 count piece of Aida that Fiona from Fiona's Craft Cottage dyed for me. It's called Cappuccino Froth. So I'm definitely gonna recycle the fabric because it's gorgeous fabric and it's dyed fabric. I hardly use dyed fabric, so if I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna make sure that I get my money's worth. But yeah, so this was UFO, one of the rare UFOs. The next day, literally, I started 2 more pieces. The first one, because July 13th is my birthday, so that was on July 12th. July 13th, I started 2 projects because I have a twin, so I started one for her and one for me. The one for her is a Heaven and Earth Designs chart called The Eternal Promise, and the artwork is by Matt Stewart. He does a lot of Lord of the Rings designs, or inspired by Lord of the Rings characters. So he would have Arwen and Aragorn. There's one with Galadriel. There's one with Aragorn as Strider. There's one with Gandalf. There's a few. So I decided that she would probably like that one because she's a huge Aragorn fan. And this one I have worked on it a lot since the last WIP parade, because I wanted it to be a focus. So the last time that I showed it to you guys, since the last time I showed it to you guys, I did 10,350 stitches. So because I think I had just started to work on this little corner right here, and I just went for it. Eventually I decided that I would rather finish Hogwarts first and then go back to my other WIPs. But here we are. originally wanted to hit 45k this year, but I would need to do 33,000 more stitches in order to do so, and that's 2,000 stitches per week from now until the end of the year in order to reach that goal. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but I love the colors, and this is a matching needle minder. Matching needle minder and Frogger by Stitching Button. So it's the ring, because it's the one ring. I don't know if you can see it from right there, but I do love this piece, and I love working on it. Even though there's a bit of confetti in the border because of the flowers, for the most part it's easy stitching. And I had to do 25 count for that one because otherwise it would have been massive. If I had gone with my, regular 18 count data, it would have been massive. So I knew that I had to upgrade, I guess, to the 25 count. And then the one that I started for me on our birthday last year was my first Mirabilia. This is Portrait of Veronica by Nora Corbett. And I also splurged for the dyed fabric for this one, and this is also the first time that I'm using even weave. So I got a 32 count Lugana called Fairy Meadow from Youthful Hands Sunny Dyes. And thank you Vicky from Reading and Stitching for the tip. I thought it went well. So the plan is to have, like, the bottom here is going to be the black, the skirt. So yeah, so you can kind of see how it's gonna fit in, because the center is kind of the middle of the skirt right here. So I think it'll go well. I think it should look okay. I haven't worked on this though since I started this. I think I may have done like 100 stitches. I know it doesn't take long for you to get used to it, but it is my first time doing 2/2 on even weave, so it just takes a bit, it takes a little bit more concentration of making sure that I count, and I'm always paranoid that I'm gonna miscount, so it's slow. Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here, and I'll go ahead and continue with the rest of my WIPs on part 2. So thank you for joining me for this half of the journey. If you want to go ahead and watch part 2, then go ahead. If not, if you want to take a break, I understand. Thank you for joining me. As always, I hope you guys have a relaxing week, a productive week, and you always find the time to do the thing that makes you happy. So see you in part 2. Bye.